back to another YouTube channel here at the Real Organization. Another week, another new episode. Today we'll be talking about self-esteem. It's a continuation of the last two videos. Kindly, if you have not watched, pause, go back to those videos so that you will understand the part 1, part 2, now this part 3, and that very last part. I will be the one who will be hosting this video for today. My name is Irene Wamboi Karathi. I'm a professional counseling psychologist. I'm currently pursuing my master's in marriage and family. I've also done peer and mentor counselor. I'm also a peer and mentor counselor, basically. Yeah. So today I'm joined by two of my colleagues, and before I let them introduce themselves, guys, if you have not liked the video and subscribed, what are you doing? Like and subscribe that video. Also hit the notification bell so that you'll be knowing we'll be posting a video every Wednesday afternoon, so that the notification bar will come. This is just a video for more awareness, to learn about mental health, and also to get to understand that it is okay not to be okay and to seek for therapy. Now I'll let my colleagues introduce themselves. I'll start from my left.
My name is Abdi Shukri and I'm a clinical psychologist.
And I'm Munira Hassan, or Aisha Hassan, a counseling psychologist.
Thank you so much for your introduction. So we'll just get right into it. Today, as you can see from the clickbait and the thumbnail, we'll be talking about case studies, and also we'll include our personal experiences so that you can realize that self-esteem doesn't affect the high and the rich or the low and the poor. It affects everyone. So us explaining about our own personal issues is for you to know that it can affect everyone. Also, the case studies that we are doing today, we asked on our Instagram. Also now, you need to post this video. Post. Thank you. Go back to our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitter, all social media platforms, LinkedIn, follow us, like, so that we engage more on those platforms, so that that's where we get the content to come and bring to you here on YouTube. You're back. Thank you. So today's conversation is about self-esteem, and I will do the first case study. It was shared on Instagram. Thank you so much that those that were vulnerable enough to share their story so that we can help educate other people. The first case study is, and I read, I am a 15-year-old high school student. I have struggled with the low self-esteem since primary school. I frequently compare myself to my peers on social media, and this leads to negative self-perception and anxiety. And before I comment on something, I would like maybe Aisha to say something on that.
Thank you, Wamboi. And I'll answer this question. And before I answer it, I just want to say thank you for sharing this information. As we had mentioned before, things are always confidential for us, and before we share, we have to seek consent. So this is consented. To just start, I will start with our social media platforms. As I had mentioned in the previous videos, social media platforms are just there to portray snippets of our happy lives, snippets of moments that I have taken a breather, I have bought a boba coffee, I had a walk and all that. Not 24 hours of my life, which means that what you see is just a snippet, meaning that the rest of my life may be good or may be bad, but I'm not sharing with you. So at the end of the day, what you have to do is make sure that whatever you're looking at does not portray you 24 hours, meaning it does not portray your thoughts, it does not portray how you view yourself, it does not portray how you behave with people, and it does not portray the feelings that you're supposed to be having. Another thing is, every time you look at social media, yes, it does trigger you. It makes you feel anxious. You have a very self-perception. What does this mean? It means that within you, you need that validation. And that validation will only come when you are able to stand before that mirror and be able to say, this is who I am, this is who I am comfortable to be, and this is what I love about myself, and this is, yes, things that I need to work on. Remember, I didn't say things that I dislike about myself. I said things I need to work on. As a human, you're a work in progress. The child in you, the child you is not the same as the adolescent you. The adolescent you is not the same as the adult you. The adult you is not the same as the mother you or the father in you. The father in you is not the same as old you. So you have to always put life according to the circumstances that you are in. As a teenager, your most important identity at the moment is learning who you are. And when you're learning who you are, it means that you'll make mistakes, you'll not like things within you, and also your body is always a work in progress. You haven't reached an age whereby people are like, and she's not growing anymore. I mean, like, we've been told when we were 15, or I think I was told that age, I'm not growing taller.
It's the last stage.
It's the last stage. I think every Somali goes through that. I don't know about you, boy. For us, there's an age where when we reach, they tell us, oh, you know what? Bullseye, you're not growing taller than this. And I remember looking at my brothers and I'm like, they're growing taller than me, but I'm not. I'm still staying the same. So that used to be my pain, and I've never believed in it. I'm still growing, by the way. So whether by heels or by nature.
That's a good one.
Whether by heels or by nature.
So I always grow. So realize that your body is always a work in progress. As women, we say there's always glow up. And also men have the glow ups in their 40s or 30s. Sorry, I'm Maybe
I'm there already. Maybe I'm already there.
I'm just joking. So always realize that there's a glow up stage. When people talk about glow up, it doesn't mean BBL, makeup and all that. It means your body naturally produces your own beauty. And that natural beauty comes from within itself. You don't have to force it, you don't have to do it. Just every day, appreciate it. Don't come from a point of comparison, come from a point of appreciation. Always appreciate each day how you look, each day how you do things. There's no one who can do it as purely, perfectly, and so beautifully than you.
Thank you so much, Aisha, for that comment and also that input. I think what I would like to add is you need to be, as a 15-year-old, because the person who sent this message is a 15-year-old, meaning that he or she is a teenager. So you need to understand that social media is growing rapidly. And how it is growing, everyone is sharing everything and anything on social media. So as Aisha has said, they share snippets. The snippets may be of happiness, and then they go cry in the corner of the room. They do something, you think that it's being done continuously, but no, it's just for social media, just for the likes, just for the shares, just for the good comments, just for anything. Those are the snippets that Aisha was talking about. Also, being a teenager, I know it can be hard to compare yourself on social media, meaning you are seeing a lot of your peers, they have this body, they have this glowing skin, because being a teenager means that you're growing. As Aisha said, you are a work in progress. So being a teenager, it is very easy for you to see other peers on Instagram, on Pinterest, on anything. They are doing the best they can, and for you're not moving. You're just in the house. Maybe you're a homebody, and then it's affecting you, and you're becoming anxious on what am I supposed to do? Why can't I do whatever the other girls are doing or whatever the other boys are doing? So I can understand that. So I think what I can tell you as a teenager, you need to understand yourself and understand your environment, understand what you can do and what you can't do. Second thing that I would like to tell you is cling on affirmations. They work because our brain is designed how you continue to communicate with it. That's how it reacts. So if you wake up every morning and before you sleep, you continually say, I am beautiful, I am pretty, I am well deserved, I was created in God's image, I deserve everything and anything that comes in my life. Just look for the things that you would like someone else, like it's something you would tell your best friend, now tell them to yourself. Look at the mirror and do that. I think that will help. And maybe to share a personal experience is, when I was a teenager myself, I was a late bloomer. So let me tell you, our social media then was Facebook, and I would see girls posting. They have booty shorts. If I wear booty shorts, me and toothpick, same what's up. Same what's up. So it affected me a little bit because I was wondering, why am I going to high school? I don't have the body that the other girls are having. I don't have maybe the long hair. I know. I don't have the things that I can see in other girls. So I think what helped me is my support system. I had my auntie and my mom also. They continue. I know they would say it in, the tone would be very harsh, but the message hit home. They would tell me, imagine you will grow, acha kushtuka na watu wengine, you will grow, stop worrying about whatever others are doing or whatever. You are your own person, and you will do whatever your body wants, you will do whatever your mind tells you. So if you keep on thinking about other people, it will affect you. So also, look for a support system. Is it your sister? Is it your brother? Is it an auntie who can be able to be there for you whenever you're going through these situations where you feel anxious when you see other peers in your social media? Yeah, that is for me.
Amazing.
Now, the question I have for Abdi is, maybe if you have something to add on this, you can add, and also give us a personal experience. Maybe you experienced now as a teenager, and also as a man, because we are ladies. So
from boys' perspective,
exactly.
okay.
So, over to you.
So I'm thinking of my own personal experience, and when I was a teenager at around 14, 15, 16, the beauty part is we did not have social media. And if it was there, I did not have access to it, but it wasn't there.
Okay.
For me, the time I got access to Facebook was the first social media I got access to. By the time I got access to Facebook, I think I was around 17. So that is the whole total different experience. Were we comparing ourselves to other people? Yes. So as much as there was no social media, what you were doing is, at that moment, first the reason as to why people compare themselves to other people when you're a teenager is because you're going through a lot of changes.
True.
You're going through a lot of body developmental changes. And you really want to know, like, what I'm going through, is it normal? Is everybody else going through this? Or are other people going through something that I'm not going through? Am I late? Am I early? You have a lot of unanswered questions. So that actually pushes people to compare themselves to other people as a teenager. It's very important at that stage to have somebody who can hold your hand and guide you through. But unfortunately, I don't know if this is culture. I don't know if it cuts across. I know it doesn't cut across, by the way, because I know of some cultures, like Kikuyu, when you finish primary, they have like a kind of like a ceremony where boys are kind of being prepared to something. We don't have that. No one prepares you for anything. You just hit puberty and you experience things as you experience them. I personally did not have like somebody who could hold my hand and tell me, at this stage your voice will change. At this stage, you will develop pubic hair. At this stage, there's something called wet dream. At this stage, you will face ABCD. At this stage, you will start realizing there is hair growth on your hand and legs. No one prepares you for this thing. So when they just appear out of nowhere, you're confused. You're like, what is this? Is this normal? So now you start comparing yourself with your peers. So for us, even as much as there was no social media, we were comparing ourselves with the peers. And majority of the time, you learn from your peers. And for me, majority of the changes I went through in high school, not actually in primary. I think I was also a late bloomer. I think I was also a late bloomer. Or maybe we all the same what's up. Yeah, or maybe we hit high school very hard. I don't know which is which. But it's the advantage of actually going through some things in high school is because you have a lot of people who are ahead of you. So you have people that you can compare notes with. Yeah. And then you're like, hey, I've seen this, I've noticed this, what is this? So at least boys will tell you. Sometimes it might be misleading, but at least you have somebody to compare notes with. So for this specific case, I want to tell our viewer who shared this story is first, it's normal to go through what you're going through. It's normal to be confused at this stage. It's normal to be worried at this stage. It's normal to be concerned at this stage. But now, for them, they are at a higher or a greater risk than us. Because now it's not just comparing with your peers, but even with internet. And majority of the time, what we see internet is not the reality. As Aisha said, it's just snippets of that person's life. And then you get to start wondering, like, how is this person having this almost complete 100% perfect lifestyle,
That's true.
while I'm struggling here with smell, I'm struggling with hair, I'm struggling with voice, I'm struggling with continuous, constant, too much wet dreams.
True.
Or I'm struggling with not having all of them while my peers are having them. You have no idea that maybe yours might be coming at 18 while mine came at 14. Yours might be coming at 17, mine came at 15. So we actually have a complete sort of different journeys. But now for me, I will not just speak to the teenagers, I'll speak to the adults. I'll speak to the adults, I'll speak to us. It is our responsibility to hold hand and support our teenagers. Whether that's your younger sister, whether that's your younger brother, whether that's your son, whether that's your daughter, whether that's your nephew, whether that's your cousin. It is our responsibility to guide these people through this journey, this tough journey, and remind them that it's okay to go through everything they're going through. It's also okay to not go through what they're not going through. What they're missing out or what they're having, both of them is okay. It will come at the right time or it will disappear at the right time.
Oh, words of wisdom there. Thank you so much, Abdi, for that input. I think before we go to the next case study, have you subscribed? Subscribe. You can't watch all these Nabuja like how you subscribe.
I tell you,
Don't subscribe.
all this effort.
Don't subscribe.
Subscribe pressure.
No, subscribe. Anyway, the other case study, we chose case studies from different age groups so that you can be able to understand that self-esteem affects everyone, even in age. So the next case study is from a 35-year-old man who is a project manager. He has experienced a decline in self-esteem after a series of failed projects. He felt inadequate and doubted his abilities, which affected his performance and job satisfaction. And this one, you can also go back to our question and answer. We also answered something on job, if I'm not wrong, and Abdi talked about it, but we'll still talk about it here in depth. So I would like maybe Abdi, do you have an input?
Yeah, and for this one, I will not actually focus on the case as per se, but rather share something that I'll share my experience.
Yes.
I'll share my experience.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a reminder to everybody, especially to the teenagers and those people who are younger, that even us who are older, us in our 40s, us in our 30s, us in our 50s, haven't still figured out.
Yes.
Haven't still figured out. We are all of us work in progress. So it's okay to be in the position that you're currently in. It is okay. And job is something that contributes to our identity. And when we face challenges and setbacks from that environment, it really affects our self-esteem. It really does. And for this specific viewer, I want to tell him that I can see you, I can hear you, and I can feel you, and I can empathize with you. Because it really does affect your value. I will not even say your value, how you view yourself. It might not affect the net value of who you are, but most of the time it affects how we see ourselves. And I just want to encourage him that this is just challenges, these are just setbacks. They come, they go, they come back, they go. Life is just a roller coaster. It's never a smooth runway. It's a roller coaster, it's curved. You will get into these positions, you will get out of them. Do not let it get to you, and do not let it affect who you are and how you see yourself. And on top of that, I want to share one story. This is back in 2020. I started my personal therapy journey back in 2020. And I remember, it was so bad. It was so bad. And part of the thing that we started to work on was issues in relation to self-love and self-esteem. And my therapist gave me a duty, a role. She told me, you're supposed to pick a day within the week, and that day or that specific time, you'll go out on a date, a self-date, just on your own. Take yourself out, have dinner or whatever, just do whatever you want to do, something that you do for yourself, just once a week. It was very easy to pick. I was like, yeah, but I can pick it. Friday night, I was like, you have worked hard, you're done for the day. Saturday, you're not working, you can just rest Friday night is actually the best night to do anything that you want to do.
Yeah.
I was like, Friday night is the night I picked. She was like, okay, fine. It's you who picked Friday night. Every Friday night, you will do something that you like. And I was like, this first night of Friday, I want to take myself out on a date, a self date. Something that I was trying for the first time. And I was living in Tanzania by then. I was working in Tanzania. So the place I was living in, next to me, it was a very big mall. And this mall has 2 entrances on both sides.
Okay.
So the side I'm living, there's an entrance and exit. On the other side, there's also an entrance and exit. Within the mall, within the compound of the mall, there were around 4 restaurants of different nature. There was Arabian cuisine, African setup, like different kind of setup and everything. On the other side of the mall, there's a big highway, and then on that highway, kuna kibandaskis, street food. They also do good, nice street foods. Yeah, let me just say that. So, and like at this moment, I'm operating from a point of either subconsciousness or unconsciousness. The only thing that is conscious is I'm going out on a date. But I haven't consciously prepared what I'm going, what I'm doing. I've not done the nitty-gritties, the itinerary of the night. I dressed up, went out of the house, went through the mall. By the time I was at the gate is when I came back to my senses. And then I stood there and had a complete conversation with myself. The first question I asked myself was like, what am I doing? I'm going out on a self date. To where? And the answer was to the Kibandaskis. And the third question was like, why? And the answer was, they do nice street foods. That time you're having a full conversation. You're trying to make logic within yourself. So they're like, they do very nice street food. Now, the most important question, and the part I want to bring into this conversation was, why am I taking myself to the Kibandaski or the street food when I'm having a self-date? When, if today I was to go out with a friend, or if I was hosting a dinner for a friend, definitely without a second thought, I would have taken them to these nice restaurants within the mall. And that was the awakening you feel at that moment. I was like, wow, is that the level of self-regard I have for myself? That when it comes to me, it's okay for me to go for the street food, but if I was to host anybody else, if I was even going out, not even hosting, a casual night out with a friend, I would have definitely gone to one of the other restaurants. That was awakening. And that shows me that night the level of self-regard I had for myself. It's something a conversation that I had with my therapist, and it's something that we had to actually unpack. Why? With your therapist, you can go deeper, have a better understanding of what contributed, and sometimes it takes you back to your childhood. Sometimes it takes you back to your teenagehood, takes you back to your previous experiences and exposures. And these are some of the things that you can overcome. These are some of the things that you can, address with your therapist and overcome. So my point to both the people who have shared the stories of the case scenarios is, whatever you're going through, the best way to deal with it is to sit with a therapist. Unpack, understand what is contributing factor. It's usually not, it's never a surface level. Me going to that Kibandaski has nothing to do with making that decision that night going to that Kibandaski. It has everything to do with, going back to ages and ages and ages and ages. So I want to tell everybody who is viewing us that where you are today, it's okay. Is it the end of the world? It's not. Can it be addressed? Yes. Can you overcome them? Yes.
Thank you so much. Oh, words of wisdom. So for this other part, I would like also, I think the same case study, the 35-year-old, I would like some input from Aisha.
Wow, that was so insightful. I'm literally proud of what you are.
Thank you.
Because I see him doing things for himself, and he doesn't care.
Now where I am.
Yeah, and I like that. I'm also work in progress, and I feel like you've already reached that place. Yeah, you are looking at my generating purpose. Am I leaving a legacy? Am I at the position where I wanted to be? 35. Some people look at 35 from a point of half of life, but in actual sense, it's also the time where you're learning to become an adult. you are on the first stages of adult. You're no longer an adolescent or a young adult. You're at a position whereby you're learning how to become an adult, managing the things and the resources and using everything that you've learned so far in one position. So if you look at it from this position, you'll realize that, yes, does it feel bad that you're not at the place where you are at? Yes. Does it feel that you've not gratified or validated the things that you wanted in life? Yes, you feel that way, and it's okay to feel that way. It's always okay to not feel okay at that position. However, does it mean that this the end of life, as he mentioned?
No, it's not.
Never the end of life. In fact, so many people have started life at the age of 40, 50, even some at 70. And every motivational book will tell you that, so I won't tell you that directly. You need to use that. However, can you try to look for your strength? Maybe project management is the place that you are at now, but it's not your place. There's so many careers that we choose in early of our life and think if we stick by it, it will turn out to be okay. It will turn out to be what we want to do. However, after some time, we realize that it's not the place we want to be. So try to look for your strength. There's character strength that we had mentioned a few videos back. You can try doing the character strength test. I don't know if we had linked it.
We can link it below for this video.
Yeah, so we can link it below for this video and you can try to do it. So, sorry, what the character strength video helps you with is it helps you identify the characters that you have. And by identifying these characters, you can also look for a niche that these exact characters and skills are used in. For example, you're a creative person. Instead of just staying focused on project management in the business sector, you can look at it from a humanitarian sector. Or you can actually transition from project management to anything to do with creativity in the humanitarian. When I say creativity, there's tech, IT that can accommodate it. There is also, in humanitarian, we have activities like any humanitarian activity or profession needs creativity in it. So you can use that. Another thing is validate yourself. Your projects don't mean or don't describe who you are. Your projects are an outside resource that just proves how you're doing things and how you're handling things. It doesn't mean it's who you are. So kindly just put yourself apart from your work. Describe yourself apart from work. And that adds up to the self-regard position. So back to you, Bamboy.
Thank you so much for your inputs. I don't think I have anything to add, but I want to emphasize on something. When you see something is affecting your self-esteem, as Abdi and Munira have mentioned, they touch on your identity. And I want to emphasize that don't look at it as at the service level. You can go deeper, look for therapists, look for someone to talk to, look for a professional, go to a professional, get to understand why is this thing affecting me, why am I looking at myself differently, why am I viewing myself differently from what I can offer to the table. So that's I'm emphasizing on going to see a professional to
Okay.
understand whatever you're going through. I think we'll just do another one because the other one I think we did it in the last Q&A. So I'll do this one. I am a 28-year-old woman. I have struggled with self-esteem issues related to my body image. Despite being healthy and going to the gym, I am heavily influenced by societal standards and media representation. Well, before I give, because now I pay a chance and I'm not finding something to say, so I'll have to start from this one. One, as we told the 15-year-old in our very first case, we talked about how social media is growing rapidly, and a lot of people are just showing snippets. You're going to the gym, you're eating healthy. I think, and it's okay for you to feel whatever you're feeling. It's okay for you to think that I'm going to the gym, I'm eating healthy, but nikienda social media, I'm seeing somebody having this type of body and I would want it, I would want to achieve it. It's okay for you to feel that way. But also remember that the societal pressure and the social media pressure has been put by people themselves, nobody else. You're also an individual. You can put whatever you want on social media. But first understand yourself. Understand getting to the gym, eating healthy, that's good. You're doing good for yourself. Tick those boxes that I'm doing this for myself. At least I'm happy. At least I'm happy with eating healthy, because you having to mention it in this statement means that you're proud of whatever you are doing. So tick those boxes by saying, I am going to the gym. That's a good thing. I am eating healthy. That's a good thing. Now, when you come to the societal pressure, I want you to be able to choose snippets. If it is eating healthy, look for that one person who inspires you. If it's going to the gym, just you can go to different gym people, Murugimunyi, just gym it. Those people that go to the gym regularly, Akina Shiv, all that, they will inspire you to do more and more and more. But if your social media is filled with different types of bodies, different types of food, you'll feel the pressure of doing whatever other people are doing and you'll not be content with whatever. Second, I'm insisting on affirmations and going to therapy. Affirm yourself, talk to yourself, talk to your brain, because our brain has been made aware where when you talk to yourself, when you talk positive things to yourself, they happen. The universe makes it happen. The second thing I'm emphasizing, go for therapy. Guys, go for therapy. Us as therapists have our own therapists. We also need issues
Unpack.
to unpack. Thank
Yeah.
you. So if you are doing everything right according to you, but when you open your phone, something is happening that it is disrupting whatever you're thinking, your positive mindset. That means that there is something unconsciously or subconsciously that is happening to you and it's triggering you. So you need to go
True.
for therapy, remove that surface level of maybe I'm having this self-esteem because of social media. But you know very well, ukitoka hapa nje upate na mtu amevaa vizuri, has this good body, you're like, that would be me, right? So those are some trigger. Those are some small triggers that you need to go and unpack in therapy to understand, why am I thinking this? I am doing this for myself and I'm happy, I'm content. But I'm being triggered by small things. Go for therapy to understand it from a subconscious and unconscious level. And that's all I have. That was our last case. But before we end the video, I would like some input from my colleagues, and I would like it to start from Abdi.
Okay, you have really, really addressed this question from all the angles. I would just love to add one thing, which is majority of the time, whatever we are struggling with stems from how we were raised, majority of the time. And I love that you mentioned the triggering aspect. It's not what am I feeling now, but rather where is it stemming from? And the person who can help you unpack, as Nani has said, is a therapist. And you see, just want to give you a case scenario kind of thing. Let's say 3 girls are being raised together, and always they can never be the same. One might be darker, one might be shorter, and always we will pick on them based on how they look. So we'll always be like the blacky one, the shorty one, the thick one, the thin one. And this thing like keeps coming back until to a level that you associate with your body negatively. And now you borrow that, you grow with it, and now you're an adult and you have to deal with it. So majority of the time, the people who raised us or the people who are around us have really contributed to us seeing ourselves in a negative angle. Trust you me, all of us, even us sitting here, must have had 1, 2, 3, or 4 aspects of our body part that we always felt uncomfortable with. And what you do is you will always constantly work towards hiding it away. Hiding it away. If it's something you can cover, you will always find a way to cover it. If it's something that you can cover with wearing a very baggy clothes, that's what you will do. If something that you can cover wearing with short, tight clothes, that's what you will always do until the time you address it with a therapist and you get to be comfortable and start loving that aspect of you. So as Wamboi said, seek professional support.
I love that. I love the fact that you two covered so much about it. Mine is just to emphasize, your body is not going to be as equal to everyone else's body. Your body is unique, has its own things, has its own beauties, has its own things that you might want to change. But in all honesty, your body is perfect for you. So the moment you start comparing, you're just putting yourself out there to become the same as everyone. And honestly speaking, commonality is not beauty. So just learn how to embrace yourself. The things that you do differently, how you look and everything. It's true. Every one of us has had issues of body. When I was young, I used to be told I have a button nose. the Somali button nose. And the rest of my family have long noses. So everyone would be like, Sangabo.
Somalis are perfect in that.
Sangabo means like the short-nosed one.
Yeah.
So I'll be identified with that. And I remember in my teenagehood, there was a point where I reached, I was like, I'm not showing my face to anyone.
Yeah.
And I chose to wear niqab. So as much as I was wearing the niqab is ninja now, as much as I was wearing it for God, I was also wearing it for hiding. But then it reached a point whereby my health was not supporting the ninja, and I had to remove it. And I remember the first thoughts when I was removing it was,
what will people think?
How will people be looking at this thing? How? Now even if you call me 100 million names, guess what? My button is there. You can't change.
Yeah.
And I love it. And I love how it looks. I had a friend who even told me, I told her, oh, I'm thinking of getting a nose ring. I love my friend. Up until now, I still love her. And she told me, if you keep a nose ring, how will you breathe?
People can damage you. People can damage you.
And you know how I felt that I have healed?
Yeah.
Instead of feeling bad about that comment, I was laughing.
Yeah.
I felt so nice about it, and I was like, "Mtashika hii ingine," and I take extra. And I have no problem. Like my nose can be the part whereby if you're fighting me, you can never hold. So every person has had that point, but every point that you might dislike or someone else's gives opinion, it actually doesn't matter. At the end, it's serving its purpose. It's there, and it's something that you have. If it's something that you can go for gym with, and is it your goal first of all? Before you rushed in with so many things, is it your goal? I had to ask myself actually. The funniest thing was in the morning when I'm preparing to go, I would be brushing and then looking in the mirror, and I'm like, wow, you look nice.
Yeah.
You look good. And then I'll step out of the bathroom. Mata sijatoka, just one step, and then you'll hear Sangawa.
They slap you back to reality.
They slap me back to reality. And I remember the first thing, and I had to think to myself is, why do I feel that I'm perfect? I'm okay with myself, but people are the ones keeping me. And I realized I'm allowing people.
Oh wow.
I'm allowing people.
That's a good one.
The thing is, and I learned this in therapy and also in my studies, we have two bubbles surrounding us. We have the internal bubble, and then we have the external bubble. Every time my internal bubble is when I authentically look at the mirror, and it shows me I am okay with every part of me. And then the external bubble is everyone else and their opinions. And for me to evaluate myself with the external bubble and not the internal bubble was actually a damage to me. And the moment I realized I'm allowing every external bubble in my space to evaluate me, I was not hurting others. I was hurting my own self. So that was where I say, take back your power. Always.
Amazing.
Wow, wow, wow. The last thing I think I've got is take back your power. Yeah. So I hope you have really enjoyed this video. Our goal was to show that self-esteem can affect anybody and everybody, depending on age. Even us as therapists, we have also
Yeah.
gone through self-esteem issues at some point. And I will I want to end this video on a high note. When we asked for some case studies, there is one person who follows us and wrote, I'm just from watching the video on self-esteem on YouTube, and I'm glad. The comment on affirmations was really helpful. So I hope we get more comments. Comment down there. Tell us what you have learned. Add on whatever you think you'd like to add. Also, don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit that notification bell so that you may know when we upload a video. Also, on all platforms, is it X, is it Instagram, is it Facebook, is it TikTok, LinkedIn, we are there at just type Dariel Wellness, Daryeel, then Wellness. You'll find us there. Kindly engage with us because you are the ones we get to understand so that we can come and create these YouTube videos. Once again, from us at the Real Organization and this episode, we all say bye.